Hi, thanks for joining me. My name's Annabella, for those of you that know me. Today we're going to do a quick, well, not a quick practice, we're going to do a practice just about an hour or so, just focusing on the top of our body. So we're going to focus more on our mid-spine, so our thoracic spine, just opening up a lot of the chest again, opening up the shoulders, just to stop that rounding up of the shoulders that we tend to get, rounding up of the back as we tend to get older, and especially if we're sitting a lot at desks and or just in front of the TV. So it'll just be a lot of opening up through the top, although we'll be working the bottom of the body as well, but mainly focusing on the top part of our bodies. So really using these trapezius muscles, just working them up, waking them up, reminding them that we are still here for them to support our mid back. So we're going to start off sitting on a cushion if you want to. Just make yourselves nice and comfortable. So we just take 5 minutes or so just to settle into our practice. So legs can be crossed or straight or in butterfly, whatever you feel comfortable with. And we'll just take a few moments just to start bringing ourselves into our practice. So having our eyes gently closed, seated nice and tall. So feel your spine nice and long. Feel the bottom of your body, your sit bones rooting down on the mat, and the top part of your body just lengthening up so that we're nice and tall, but still staying relaxed. So have your navel slightly drawn in, just so your core is starting to support you and you're not collapsing into the middle of your body. And we're staying nice and long. Shoulders are just down and slightly drawn back, just so your chest is nice and open. Chin is comfortable, so it's not sticking up, it's not falling too far down. It's just that slight into that neutral position, just slightly tilted down towards the chest, so you feel your neck nice and long. So just starting to let go of the day, or let go of whatever you've been doing, and just focusing in on yourselves, on your body, and starting to bring yourselves to your mat, to your practice. So just softening and relaxing the body as we let go of tension, as we settle in, and we start slowing down the breath, starting to take longer breaths as we bring calmness and stillness to the body. So just letting your hands relax wherever they feel comfortable on your lap, in the mudra, whatever works for you today. Just starting to feel your body heavier and more relaxed as you just let go of everything that is not serving you for the next hour or so in this practice. So just take a quick scan through your body. Just notice if you are holding on to any tension. So we start off with the face, just checking your face is nice and relaxed. The forehead is relaxed, just let it soften and relax. In between the eyebrows as well, you're not frowning. Just have a nice happy forehead. And then noticing your jaw or your teeth clenched, just having a little space between your teeth just to relax your jaw. And then let your shoulders relax, so they're not up around your ears. They're just nice and relaxed, slightly drawn back, those shoulder blades back towards each other, so your chest is nice and open. Trunk of the body feels relaxed, so no tension through the chest, through the ribs. Just that slight activation of the core to keep you supported. Again, the pelvis is relaxed. Let those sit bones feel nice and heavy, connected to the floor. Let your legs relax. Your feet, no tension in the toes. Just let them relax. And again, the arms are relaxed. And just feeling the heaviness of your hands wherever they are, just gently relaxing. And then just starting to notice your breath. So starting to take longer breaths, slower breaths, nice full diaphragmatic breaths, yogic breathing, nice and long. So when you get ready to take your next breath in, just see if you can start drawing that breath a bit more from your belly. So you're starting to expand the breath as your belly expands up towards your chest. And then a nice long exhale as we let go from the chest down towards the belly. So just let's go for a few more rounds, really consciously breathing, bringing in that nice long breath. And then a nice long exhale. Still trying to keep the breath nice and organic, nice and relaxed. So we're not forcing the breath. We're just starting to lengthen it, start taking deeper breaths. So you want to keep your belly still nice and relaxed. We're not tensing up the body. So just breathing in your own pace, just starting to slow and lengthen the breath. Still keeping the face relaxed, shoulders, trunk of the body, the pelvis, all staying relaxed as we lengthen the breath. And just start feeling that rise and fall. And when you take your next exhale, just let that breath go just for a few seconds longer, and then stop breathing in again. So we have a little pause as we exhale, and we just let all that stale breath, just squeezing it out. And then start inhaling again, nice new breath, new energy. Just letting go of what no longer serves you. As you exhale all that tension, any thoughts, just letting them go as we take 2 final rounds of breath here. And one more breath, nice and long, really making it as long as you can. And then with that exhale, letting it go for as long as you can. So really squeezing out that breath on that last exhale. Big squeeze, squeeze, squeeze it. Let it all go. And then come back to your normal breath. As we get ready to begin the practice, just bring our hands together in front of our heart. And just taking a little bow down to our heart. So our heart chakra, Anahata, our energy set, our heart energy, which is mainly what we'll be focusing on today as we work through the top of our body. So just take a moment, a little bow to the heart. And only by loving ourselves can we let love for other people and love into our hearts. Let's take a nice brisk rubbing those palms together. Start feeling that heat and energy building up. And then placing those palms over our eyes as we blink back into the light. And taking our hands away, we begin with our greeting of love and peace. Namaste. And thanks for joining. We'll just start off with a little bit of warming up through the neck, through the top of the body before we continue. So just nice big circles, as I love doing circles, with the chin, taking it up towards the ceiling. It just releases the day or what you've been doing, and then circling it down the opposite side. Keep those shoulders relaxed. Nice big circle. Letting go of any tension in the neck as we take one last circle. And then bring that chin back towards your chest. And then going in the opposite direction. Again, nice big circle round. Keep those shoulders back and relax down. 2 more circles. Taking your time, really getting any of those kinks out of your neck. And our final circle, ending with the chin towards the chest. And take a nice big stretch through the back of the neck. And then with our next breath, take the chin up towards the ceiling. Get a nice stretch through the front of the throat, through the top of the chest. And then come back to center. And let's uncross and recross our legs, just in case they're getting a little bit twitchy from being in the same position for a while. And let's take a nice big stretch up. Let's take our hands to our shoulders, and the elbows are about shoulder height. And we're going to get some movement through the top of the spine, through the top of the chest, the top of the spine. Nice big breath in. Draw the elbows in, exhale, draw them back. So we're just isolating the movements at the top of the body, inhaling in, exhaling, drawing the shoulders back, elbows back, shoulders back. 2 more times. Really stretch through the top of the body. Exhale, opening up the front of the heart. Inhaling, stretching back, opening up the back of the heart. Final exhale. And then come back to center, interlace our fingers. We'll take a big breath in and palms start facing up, reaching up towards the ceiling, softening those shoulders. And then as we exhale, start coming down, bring those palms in towards the heart. Keep the elbows lifted. Inhaling again, reaching up. Exhaling, drawing those palms in towards the heart. Inhaling. Softening those shoulders, exhaling. And let's do one last round. Bringing all that love in. And then release. Let's release the legs, and if you need to move your cushion away, just creating some length through the legs, and we're going to get a bit of movement. So grabbing your toe, ankle, wherever you feel comfortable, and we're just going to circle around, nice big circles. You can use your opposite hand just to support you, getting movement in that knee, so bending and straightening that knee, so having your hand wherever you need it, so you get that movement through your knee. And let's take one final circle round, and then same leg in the opposite direction. So nice big circles. Staying up nice and tall. Final circle round as we bring that leg back down. Again, finding that place of comfort to get that movement through the knee as we circle round. And staying up nice and tall. Also feeling some movement through that shoulder. So you're kind of pulling that shoulder back into its socket as we circle round. And then coming back to center in the opposite direction. Getting all those kinks out of your knee, out of your hip. Good. Let's bring that leg back to center. Coming up onto our hands, onto our knees. Into table, bringing those wrists underneath shoulders, knees are hip distance apart. A few rounds of cat-cow. We're really taking our time. So as we inhale, draw the shoulder blades back, tilting that tailbone up, chin goes up towards the ceiling, creating loads of room here, and just holding for a few breaths, really connecting down through your hands, really stretching that navel down towards the mat. Take one more big breath here. And then on the exhale, stop rounding up, tuck the tailbone under, chin to the chest. A nice big stretch through that spine, top of the head. It's just pointing down towards the floor. Again, take a couple of breaths. On the inhale, opening up again into cow, tailbone tilts. Chest opens as we gaze up towards the ceiling or to our third eye. Draw those shoulders back. Nice big stretch. Extending and flexing through the spine. Next exhale, rounding up. A nice big stretch here. Again, root down through those fingers, through the front of the feet, the toes. Good. Come back to a neutral spine. And we'll come down into puppy pose. So just bring the forearms down to the mat, elbows underneath shoulders. Just let the shoulders draw down your back, opening up the chest. Keep that core slightly engaged just to protect your lower back and keep those hips nice and stacked. Just for a few breaths here. And then coming back onto our hands. And we're going to do a thread the needle. So taking that right arm underneath the left and bringing ourselves back onto that left shoulder. Have the wrist lined up with the shoulder. Just get a nice stretch through the back of that shoulder. And then our next breath, let's bring that up. Bring the left wrist underneath and then take the right arm up. Open up the chest to the side. And then come back to center. We get ready to switch. Left arm slides underneath the right. Bring yourself down onto that left shoulder. Opposite hand just supporting you wherever you need the support. We're not going to be here for very long. And our next breath, let's come back up. Again, just bring the right wrist underneath that right shoulder and then take the left hand up. Just opening up. Good. Come back to center. Let's root down, coming into down dog. So rooting down through those fingers, through the palms, so we're not collapsing into those wrists. Let's tuck those toes under, tilting that tailbone up, keeping the knees soft for the moment. Take a nice big stretch. Really feel the stretch from your hands all the way up through your shoulders, through your core, to that lower back, to that tailbone. And then let's start straightening out the legs one at a time, just walking them out. And let's take a little twist. So when we're bending one leg, say bend the right knee, bring it in front of the left, and then straighten into the opposite side. So we're getting a stretch through the side of the body, through those underarms, through those shoulders, as well as the hips. And then let's finish off and come back into down dog. One final stretch. Let's look through to our hands and start walking towards our hands into a forward bend, softening and holding here. Let your shoulders and arms relax for a moment. And before we start coming up, halfway lift, brings the hands to the shins, lengthen the spine as we look forward, draw the shoulders back, soften the knees. We're going to come up, rolling those shoulders back, big circle with the arms, and bring the hands back to our heart. And we're going to get ready just for a couple of rounds, a half sun salutation and then a round of a full sun salutation. So in Tandasana, as we root down through our feet, opening up our palms so the chest is nice and open, energizing those feet outwards so we're not collapsing into our knees. Let's take a nice circle with the arms, a gentle back bend, stretching back, draw that navel back, lifting up through the heart. Let's come through into a forward bend, lengthening all the way down, fingertips on the mat. Take that right foot back, knees on the mat, chest up, chin up. Lengthen through those fingers from the shoulders all the way down. Feel like someone's pulling you from the top of the head as we're looking ahead. Stepping down dog. Nice big stretch. And then let's take that right heel up towards the ceiling. Take a big stretch through the back of that left leg as the left heel goes down to the mat. And then let's start shifting the weight forward and bring that right foot between the hands. You may need to take a couple of steps, left knee down, chest up, chin up, soften those shoulders back into a forward bend. And let's start coming up, root down through the feet, use those knees, those arms to bring you all the way back. And let's go for another round, reaching back. Nice big stretch back into a forward bend, lengthening forward and down, left leg goes back, knees on the mat, chest up, chin up, really opening up the heart, softening those shoulders, into down dog, stepping back, root down through those fingers,
Let's take that left leg up, nice big stretch, stretch, stretch as the right heel goes down. And then bring that left foot through. The right knee comes down, lengthening through those shoulders. Nice lot of space as we come into a forward bend. And let's start coming up round the shoulders. Hands come back to the heart. And let's continue. This time we'll go with full sun salutation. So just adding that 8-point pose in between. And we're going to take a crescent moon. So reaching back, opening up the chest, lengthening back, 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 back. And then start coming all the way forward as we take that right leg back, knees on the mat. Going to come into a crescent moon as we inhale, palms facing each other, gazing up towards our fingers, softening those shoulders. And then as we exhale, stepping down dog. We'll continue into 8-point pose as we shift the weight forward, bring the knees to the mat, bend those elbows back towards you. Chest and chin touch down as we lengthen the legs back. Lift the chest into a baby cobra. Tuck those toes in, draw that navel in as we go back into down dog. You can always come into table, so onto your knees before you come into down dog. Taking a big step through with that right foot, left knee on the mat, inhaling crescent moon. Gazing up at those fingers, a gentle back bend, just so we get that lift through the heart, shining up towards the universe. And then gently coming into a forward bend. Let's stop coming up, soften those knees, roll those shoulders, use that core to bring us up. And let's end with the left side, rooting down through the feet, reaching back, 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 into that forward bend as we lengthen forward. Take that left foot back, knees on the mat, chest up, and we're coming all the way up. Take the arms up. And then take them behind the back as we interlace fingers, opening up the palms away from each other, draw those shoulders away. You may find it more comfortable to grab elbows to open up. So pick your options. Again, lifting the chest up, keeping the neck relaxed. And then bringing those hands, release. Hands to the mat as we step down dog. Bring the knees to the mat as we continue 8-point pose. Touch down, chest and chin. Lengthen legs back as we lift into a baby or full cobra. Again, notice if shoulders are here, just draw them back and draw those elbows in. Tuck the toes under, back to down dog. A nice big step through with that left foot. Right knee comes down. Inhaling, hands come up. And then circling them behind the back. Interlace those fingers, open up the chest. And if you find your ribs are over popping, just draw them slightly back in. So you're really engaging the front of the body. Solar plexus all the way up. And then coming into a forward bend. And let's start coming up. Use those shoulders, use those knees, that core to bring us all the way back. Good. And we'll just take a moment here. And we're going to come into a balance. So we're going to come into eagle pose. So if you do need some assistance from a chair or from a wall, do come and go and stand wherever you feel comfortable. And let's start really connecting down to our feet, into our core, to really feel the connection through our toes, sides of the feet, heel of the right side as we bend that right knee. And we're going to take the left leg and just cross it over. So you may just be here with the toes of the left foot supporting you. Or you may be able to come up and really squeeze those inner thighs, and you may be able to twist one more time depending on how open your hips are. Don't worry too much about that second twist unless you've got quite open hips. So we all design differently. And then we're going to see if we can bring our arms in. If arms is too much and you're holding onto a chair, just stay here. If you can do your arms, the right arm goes over, the left one comes under. You can get your elbows crossed, go for one twist or two. If you can't quite get your elbows crossing, just hold onto your shoulders and lift the elbows up slightly so they're more or less lined up with shoulders. If you've got into one twist or two twists, just make sure your wrists aren't being compromised. They're staying nice and straight. Not adding any pressure to our wrists. Lifting up those elbows, squeezing those thighs in towards each other and staying nice and square. If you feel your balance is great today and you want to continue, you can start bending down, draw that navel in so we're not arching the spine, and we can start bringing the elbows down to meet that knee. Keep engaging that core. Keep rooting down through that supporting leg. Try not to collapse into the foot. Just gazing past the hands. Keep drawing the navel in so the spine's not tilting back. And we create a nice stretch through that mid-back. Good, and then start coming up. Don't worry if you can't do that. Just get your balance. And then work from there with control. We let go of our arms and we let go of our leg. We shake out the standing leg. And let's get ready to switch sides. Again, really connecting to that core, building that stability, holding us, moving the weight to the left side. Now, sides are different. So don't worry if this side feels more unstable, or maybe it feels better, and just try and go with whatever works. Again, squeeze those thighs together. That's the main thing. If you can tape that foot. Now I do struggle a bit more on this side as well to get that squeeze. I've noticed as I've started getting older, it's getting a bit harder, but we just keep trying. Squeezing those thighs together. Arms are out to the side if that feels good for your balance. Left arm is over this time, right one comes under. Elbows crossed, we can go for one twist or two. Or if not, hold on to shoulders, lift up the elbows. Whichever version you're on, you want to get those elbows slightly lifted, so they're in line with your shoulders. And then you're getting just that little bit more of a stretch. Keep squeezing those legs to give you that stability. Keep engaging that core. Opening up the top of the chest, and then you could always start bringing those elbows down if you feel you want to challenge your balance. You may just be building up your balance, so just keep doing what feels good for you. If you are coming down, elbows to meet knee, keep engaging the core so you're not tilting that pelvis up, the tailbone out. It's staying down in neutral. Feel the stretch through the top of the shoulders. Good, and then let's gently come up with control. Nice big breaths, letting go. Oh, fantastic. Give that standing leg a shake and into a wonderful star pose. Just take a nice big wide leg pose, have the feet parallel, and then let's take those arms out to either side. So like a big shining star, keep rooting down through the outside of the legs of the feet. Draw the shoulder blades back and just keep reaching up, really opening up that chest. Draw that navel in, opening up that heart center, Anahata chakra, just calling in that energy, filling us with beautiful love and peace and happiness, opening up our heart to love, to all the possibilities. Keep reaching out, reaching. Nice big shining star. And we're nice and stable here. We're going to take a twist. So taking the right arm, we're going to cross it to the left leg, and the left arm goes up towards the ceiling. So grabbing your leg wherever your hand lands, doesn't have to be at your ankle, could be your knee, top of your leg, or all the way down the bottom. And then the top arm is reaching straight up. Keep that shoulder in its socket so your arm doesn't drop back, and you've got some space underneath that armpit as we're reaching up towards the ceiling. As always, choose wherever you want to look with your head. Keep rooting down through those feet. Next breath in, coming back into that star pose. So take the right arm, reaching up again, draw those shoulders back, engaging, energizing through the outside of the legs. Nice big stretch to the other side. Grabbing right leg with left hand as the right hand goes up towards the ceiling. Just notice where your shoulder position is. Draw that shoulder into the socket and just see where your head is again. Try not to collapse into those insteps inside of your feet. Keep energizing those legs outwards. Nice big breath. And then release into that star pose again. Last time, last big stretch. Big shining star. All that energy And then let's relax and come forward into a hanging forward bend here, wide-legged forward bend. Just let the shoulders relax and your neck. Maybe even soften the knees if you want to. Just gently relax. And then let's start coming up as we take a big breath in. Start coming all the way up. And we're going to come into a warrior two. So stepping forward with your right foot. So it's pointing towards me and your left foot is behind. 90-degree angle. I'm just going to switch myself so you can see me from the side. And then it's either heel to heel or heel to instep. Energizing that foot. Bend that right knee into warrior two. Take those arms out, relax those shoulders. We get ready to reverse the warrior. Left hand down the back, right palm faces up and over. Just a gentle relax. Keep pressing down through that right foot, really energizing through the heel as well as the front of the foot, and then energizing backwards through that left foot. And we're opening up those inside ribs. And then gently coming up and just interlacing the fingers. So taking the hands behind, open up the chest and then drop into a humble warrior. So bring the shoulders down towards that front leg. Again, keep energizing the back leg, that left leg back so we're not collapsing you. Draw those shoulder blades in towards each other. And just let your head hang and relax. And then release. Bring the hands to either side of that front foot. Turn the back toes and just step back into down dog. And then you can either hold here, you can go into child's pose, or take a little flow with me as we shift the weight forward. Bringing the knees down, elbows come back and scoop the chest all the way through into a baby cobra, full cobra. Keep the glutes and the shoulders relaxed. Tuck the toes under, back to down. And then start walking on the tips of your toes and maybe even on the tips of your fingers into a forward bend. Loads of length through the back of your legs. Gently relax the heels down, soften the knees, and let's start coming up. Use those shoulders, roll them back. Hands come all the way back to the heart. And let's continue with the other side. So this time your left leg steps forward. As the right one goes into a 45-degree angle. Squaring those hips, nice open hips. Engaging the outside of the leg, inside of this leg, so it's not dropping in. Arms are out to the side. Reversing the warrior, right hand down the back, left one over the head, nice and relaxed. Get that stretch through those floating ribs and root down, energize through that heel of that left foot. Next breath, come up. Interlace those fingers as we open up the chest. And a humble warrior as we bring those shoulders down towards that front leg. Keep opening up the chest, drawing those shoulder blades back. And then release. Bring the hands to either side. Turn those back toes. Stepping down dog. Nice big stretch. Choosing to stay here, child's pose, or join me in a flow. This time we're going to shift the weight forward. Bring the knees down, and we're just going to do a couple of yogic press-ups. So really energizing those fingers, bending the elbows towards the chest, touching down with the chest, and then coming back up. And we'll just do that one more time. Draw those shoulders back, so really strengthening those shoulders coming back. And this time we'll scoop the chest and take it straight through into baby cobra, full cobra. Relax the shoulders, the glutes, draw the navel in, back to down dog. And then take that walk through with the feet towards your hands. Nice big stretch through the back of the body. Start coming up as we soften the knees. Roll those shoulders, hands come back to the heart. And we'll just take a warrior one to continue. So again, this time, the right foot is forward, left foot is at 45 degrees behind you. Just bend that right knee, taking the arms up and to the side. And here we're going to do eagle arms again. Get a nice stretch through the back. So left arm is over as the right one comes under. either a hug, one twist or two. This time, especially if you weren't able to do it in the eagle pose, now you can really focus on those arms, on those shoulders. Make sure wrists uncompromised. Lift the elbows up, draw that navel in. We'll take a little back bend first, so start lifting the elbows up as you root down through that front leg. And just open up through the underarms and the top of your chest, gazing up towards the ceiling. And then our next breath, let's start bringing the elbows down towards that front knee, just hanging here, gazing down past our arms, root down through that front foot. And then exhale, release the arms, reaching them behind you, lengthening the arms back, palms facing each other. And then bring the hands to either side of that front foot. We're going to shift the back toes. And let's come into our standing half split. So shift the weight onto that front leg, bringing the hands forward, so wrists are underneath shoulders. And then just lift the back leg as far up as it goes. And if you can, straighten your front leg. And then stop coming down. Bring that leg to meet the standing one. Let's bring our hands to our shins, lengthen the spine, halfway lift, soften the knees, roll the shoulders, bring ourselves all the way back, hands to the heart, and we'll get ready to switch sides. So this time the left foot comes forward, as the right foot is more or less 45-degree angle. We want to have nice square hips to the front this time, taking arms up and to the side. And then switching, so right arm is over, so the left one comes under, crossing elbows, holding, giving yourself a hug, one twist or two, whatever works for you. Lift the elbows up, just so we can straighten the back, those shoulders, and get those trapezius muscles working as we start with that little heart lift. So take the elbows up towards the ceiling, keep rooting down through the front leg, open up through the underarms, through the top of the chest. Draw those ribs slightly in if they feel they're popping up. Just engage the core and then start coming with those elbows down towards that front knee. And just gazing down towards your foot, keeping the neck nice and long. And then gently release the arms and reach them behind you. Nice long length through those arms. And then bring hands to either side of the front foot. Turn the back toes into that half stand, into that standing forward split. So coming forward, start lifting the back leg. And if you can start straightening the front leg. Don't worry if you can't. Just get a nice stretch through that back leg. And then this time we're going to take the leg and still step it back. And then front leg steps back. And we're going to come into down dog. So I'm just going to switch myself to the side. Into down dog, a nice big stretch and down dog. And then coming down onto our knees. And we're going to get ready to come into Dandasana. So nice seated pose, nice strong seated pose. So we're going to sit with the legs out in front of us, really wanting to flex those feet. Flex them as much as you can, just so you start rooting down through the heels, through the back of the legs, so really engaging those legs, rooting down. So bottom part of the body is really rooted, connected down to the mat. And then the top part of the body, we're keeping it nice and long. So draw that navel in, draw those ribs in, keeping us supported and long. Relax those shoulders. You can bring the hands to either side. They're really pressing down on the mat. Like you want to lift yourselves off. If you can reach your hands down. If you can't, just keep reaching down, lengthening through the top of the shoulders. Keep drawing that navel in. Keep opening up the chest and draw those ribs back. Nice long spine, nice straight top of the back. We don't want any of this rounding up. We're drawing ourselves back. And then let's take a big stretch up. So take the arms up, still keeping that activation through the legs, really rooting down, reaching up, again, shoulders, let them drop down. As the arms reach up, you draw those shoulders into their sockets, draw that navel in, into a nice forward bend. forward bend here. Keep lengthening through that spine. Keep drawing the shoulder blades back, lengthening through the neck. Keep flexing those feet and rooting down through the back of the legs. If you need to soften the knees slightly for your hamstrings. And then gently coming back up, inhaling, reaching up again, rooting down through those feet, flex, and then take the arms behind you, either grabbing elbows with the opposite hand, staying up nice and tall, or even you could come into upside down prayer if you have that in your practice, or you want to start trying it out. Just see how you go. You want to get the hands quite up close to your mid-back. And then we're opening up the chest again, draw that navel in, flex those feet, root down through the back of the legs, stay up nice and tall, keep opening up the top of the chest, popping those ribs back in so we're not overarching that lower back. Just a couple more breaths here. You would have thought so much hard work would have gone into a seated pose. Let's take one final breath in the pose. And then relax. Relax those arms, relax the legs, come into a nice comfortable forward bend, or even come into butterfly instead if that feels better. Bring the soles of your feet together and just let yourselves relax here for a few moments. And then come back to seated, or just gently butterfly those knees up and down. And then we'll continue in a moment into a twist. Just releasing any tension, if you need to release any tension in the shoulders, just give a little play around with them as well. And then let's start slowing down the movement as we come to complete stillness. Going to straighten our right leg, cross the left one over, ankle to knee if we can. Shift your sit bones or sit on a cushion just to give you that length through the spine. Draw that navel in. Want to keep this bent knee as straight as we can just to help us. Stay up nice and tall. Arms come out to the sides. Excuse me. I'm going to take the right arm and see if you can bring that left knee towards that right armpit. Take the left arm behind us. We're going to get that left arm as close to us as we can, and then we start twisting. Neck twists last. If you prefer to have that left hand further away from you, we're on the tips of the fingers and rooting into those fingers to give the spine, draw the spine up. Otherwise, we can have the hand nice and close to us, and that gives us that length through the spine as we twist and relax into that twist. So we'll take a couple of breaths here. Every time we're inhaling, just feel like someone's pulling you that little bit further through the top of your head. And as you're exhaling, you're relaxing into the twist, or taking the twist a bit further if you prefer. For one last round. And then a counter twist as we take our next breath in. The hands just come over to the opposite side, just a gentle twist here as we release that left side of the body, and then come back to center. Let's switch sides, so crossing right leg over the left. Stay up nice and tall. Try and get that leg a little bit straighter, just so it makes it that bit easier when we're grabbing that knee underneath the armpit. Take the right arm behind, either close to you, or if you feel more comfortable with it back, we're rooting down through the fingers, so we're not leaning back. We're staying up nice and tall, and we start twisting. The neck looks back last as we settle into the twist. As we inhale, just feel that little spine lengthening that little bit more. And as we exhale, settle into the twist. We'll take it a bit further, completely up to the movement of your spine and what you feel comfortable. Let's take one final breath here in this pose. Nice long inhale. Nice relaxing exhale. And then release. Coming to the opposite side just to release the twist. Well done. Good. Straighten out those legs. And we're just going to come into an upside down plank. So with legs are straight, supported one, we're going to have the fingers either turned towards us, to the side, back, whatever feels comfortable. We're going to end up lifting the pelvis up, so you can do it with both legs straight if that's already in your practice. Otherwise, if we're building up, we'll bend the left leg, so we're rooting down through that foot and start lifting the pelvis up, rooting down through those arms, opening the chest. So draw the shoulders back to help you lift the spine. Try and lengthen through the front of that right leg. So you're trying to get those toes down to the floor, and that'll help you lift the pelvis up as well. Rather than if it's just hanging here, you'll start collapsing. And if you just push that foot through that heel down to the toes, it just helps you with the spine. And then release. Bring the pelvis down. Straighten the supporting leg. Let the arms relax. And we'll do that one more time. If you've been doing it with both legs, just go for another round with both legs straight. Again, right leg supports us this time. Nice big breath in. And then on the exhale, as we draw the navel in, draw those shoulders back, lengthen through the front of that left leg, rooting down through the heel, just to help you lift through your pelvis, through the spine. Again, try not to have the glutes tense. You want to keep them relaxed, as we want to strengthen the other muscles. Keep drawing those shoulders back, opening up the chest. And then relax again, let the hips come down, straighten the legs, and just draw that chin in towards the chest, draw the navel back, relax here for a moment. And then we're going to come and lie on our bellies. If you have a belt, or you want to put me on pause and grab a belt or a strap, in case you do want to use it, as we're going to try and grab our foot through the back when we come into lie down onto the mat. So up to you. Or you can do various versions. So we're lying down on the front. So just start off in Sphinx with elbows just underneath our shoulders. Then chest is opened, and this may be enough for you, and you can just do this pose, and this is perfectly fine. Just bringing that right leg towards you. Or you can take that left arm, put it across your body, still keeping that height. Take the right arm in front of you. And this is where, if you want a strap, you can place the strap through the foot, through the front of your foot, and just have the strap close by. And then we're going to grab that strap and try and get that foot to come in towards us. But it's more about the right shoulder opening back. So you want to click, if you can't grab your foot, use the strap just to open up the front of the shoulders. You want to keep the shoulders square so we're not rotating that right shoulder back. But kick that foot into the strap, or if you can grab your foot or your ankle, you're kicking the foot into your hand, but making sure the shoulder's not opening back. We're keeping the shoulders square. And take a few breaths. Keep that leg, front of the right leg rooted into the mat. Just so we're opening up through the top of the body, and then relax. Bringing that leg down, bring your back down, your chest down, straighten out that right leg. I'm just going to shift my strap. And relax that right elbow out. Give the back a little rock if you need to. And then we'll get ready to switch sides. So again, coming up to Sphinx, just to get ourselves started. Chest is nice and open, and again, you could be here. And just take that left foot and keep opening up the chest. Or you can just take the right arm, placing it along the front of your body for that support to keep you lifted. Take the left arm forward and start bringing that left heel towards you. Again, you can place that strap around your foot if you need that support, and then start grabbing. Or you can just reach around. You could grab your heel or your legging, or just reach back and keep the shoulders square. So a couple of options if you don't have a strap or a belt nearby, or you don't feel like using it. Again, keep the shoulders square so we're not opening out. We're rotating that shoulder forward again, and just kick that foot into the hand, just to keep opening up. Keep the back, the thigh of the left leg placed on the floor. Good. And then gently let go and relax. Bring the chest back down, straightening out that left arm for a breath or two. And then we're just going to revert to do thread the needle from here. So taking the right arm, palm facing up, threading it under the left. Bring that yourself back down. Again, check that wrist and shoulder are nice and lined up, so your joints are not compromised. And just relax, have your head wherever you want it, turning down to the opposite side or turning the same way as your hand. Just give that shoulder a bit of a stretch. And then release. Bring that right hand through. And get ready to thread the left one, palm faces up as we thread it underneath. Check shoulder and wrist, and then bring yourself down again. And decide where you want your head to be. You could always have a cushion underneath your head. And then relax for a few breaths. And then bring that arm through. And we're going to go back into child's pose. Extended child's pose if you can. Bring those toes together, knees apart. Extended, have those arms reaching forward to begin with and settle into child's pose. You can always place a cushion underneath your seat if that makes it more comfortable, especially for your knees, or if your hips are if your sit bones are quite high up from your heels. Just reaching those arms forward, root down through the palms into the mat and draw those shoulders back. So it's almost like you want to claw your fingers back. And just feel that length through those underarms. And then release. Bring the hands to either side or just soften the arms next to you and just take a few moments just to relax completely into child's pose. And then our next breath, let's start rolling ourselves back up to seated. And let's come and lie down on our backs. Take a drink of water if you need to. I've been talking for way too long. And let's come and lie on our backs. We're going to come into bridge. So bring soles of our feet together. Soles of our feet on the mat, having them hip distance apart, and get the heels as close to you as you can. Bring the hands to either side. Have the palms facing down. Keep rooting down through the feet, through those knees so they're not dropping out. Nice big breath in and lift the pelvis up. Get that weight onto the shoulders, root down through your feet. You can either hold here, you can take the arms and reach them past your head, lengthening back. Keep lifting the pelvis up and shifting the weight to the shoulders. As we exhale, bring the pelvis down and bring the arms down. And we'll do that a couple more times. Inhaling, pelvis goes up, arms go back if you can. If you need the support, just keep the hands either side and keep lifting. Otherwise, if you feel comfortable, keep the glutes relaxed, lift the spine up, bring the weight onto the shoulders, keeping the knees from falling out, rooting down through the feet. Exhaling, bringing the pelvis down, arms come down. Final time, lifting up the pelvis, reaching the arms behind us, a nice big reach. And then relax, bring the pelvis down, bring the arms down, bring the knees up to your chest. Give yourselves a little rock from side to side. And then we're going to come into fish. So just a little counter pose for the top of our chest. So bring the arms underneath. So lift the pelvis, lift your bum up, bring the hands underneath your buttocks, straightening the legs. You can have the feet flexed or stretched, or you could even have them bent, knees bent and feet on the floor. We're going to bring, lifting ourselves up. So we're coming onto our elbows and we open up the chest. So draw the shoulders back and then just let your head hang. You may be able to get your head all the way down, or you just maybe here. Keep using the top of your shoulders to open back and keep you lifted and supported. And just take a few breaths. If this is completely too much for you, then do just lie this one out. Or you could always just put a cushion on the top of your back, just to lie back with the cushion and just opening up the shoulders. And so let's just a couple more breaths here. The opening up the throat and the top of the chest. Take our final breath in the pose. And then coming out of it, just lift yourselves back up, straighten up the neck, bringing ourselves back down to the floor. Bring those knees up towards our chest. Another little rock, just letting the spine relax. And then we're going to come into a spinal twist just before we end our practice. So straighten out the legs. I want you to take the right leg, sole of the foot, on top of the left leg. Take the arms out to the sides. And then grab that right knee, start pulling it over to your left. You can always relax that foot, it doesn't need to stay on top of the leg. But square the shoulders off, so you try and get them flat on the floor. So you may need to ease up the twist in the spine if you find that top shoulder is coming off the mat. And then just as you exhale, relax those shoulders down and relax into that twist. Just for a few breaths. You can always look to that right side if that feels comfortable for your neck, or you can just continue looking up. Try and get a nice twist through the top of the spine, so really try and get that right shoulder back down, or put a bit of a cushion underneath, just so we're kind of actively engaging that right shoulder down to the mat. And then release. Come back to center. Let the arms relax for a moment. The spine relax. Take the left foot onto that right leg. Again, bringing that left knee over to the right with your right hand. And take your left hand to the side. Again, just shift the top of your spine so it relaxes onto the mat. Every time you exhale, just feel that left shoulder relaxing that little bit further. And maybe going into the twist a little bit more. Again, you can choose to look to the left, or you can continue looking up, whatever feels right for you. Keep relaxing into the twist for one final breath. Good. Come back to center. Release. Release the leg. Release your neck. One last time. Knees come up towards your chest. Take the arms around your legs. A nice big breath in. And on the exhale, a nice squeeze. As we squeeze those legs into the abdomen, into your abdomen, release your lower back. Release all of your spine and release your legs. We're going to get ready to end our practice in Shavasana. So I'll just talk you through a minute or so of Shavasana. If you want to stay on longer, continue. Maybe go and put on a timer or put on some music, just so you're not worried about the time. And then when it's done, you finished with your Shavasana. So just get yourselves nice and relaxed. If you want to put on something warmer, if you want to get cushions, anything to make you super comfortable. As we end our practice, just taking a few moments just to soften and relax and connect back to our internal body. So having that chin slightly tilted in again, just get the neck nice and comfortable on the floor, with your head comfortable on the mat or on the floor, and no tension in your neck. Let your feet just flop out to the sides as your legs gently soften and relax. Feel the pelvis gently relaxing down onto the mat. No tension through the pelvis. Feel that belly heavy falling down as it relaxes.
Every time you exhale, just feel yourself relaxing that little bit more. Letting your spine relax. Your ribs relax. Your chest relaxes. Just let all those last bits of tension go. Feel your shoulders relaxing back onto the mat as your arms relax. Having the palms turned up towards the ceiling. Receiving positive energy. Relaxing the fingers. Just feeling heavy as you gently relax. Feeling your face relax. Let the forehead relax. The eyebrows. Letting the eyes feel heavy in their sockets as they totally relax. Jaw is relaxed, that gentle space between your teeth. Just let your whole face relax. Letting your mind relax, letting go of any thoughts as you gently relax. Let your mind just wander away, not holding on to any thoughts. Just soften and relax, like your body completely relaxing. And I will leave you here as we end our practice with love. Love for ourselves, love for each other, love for our planet. Namaste. Thank you again for joining me, and I hope to see you again.